It is February 12th, 2021. Hurry, hurry, step right up and keep following. It's the Wrestling Inc. podcast talking about SmackDown, the return of Seth Rollins tonight. More news about Elimination Chamber. I'm Glenn Rubenstein, joined by Issa, NYC Demon Diva. Matt Morgan, not feeling well, will not be with us tonight. So it's just the two of us holding things down here on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. What did you think of SmackDown this evening?
I have a lot of thoughts about SmackDown this evening. I am a little bit confused. And yeah, I mean, overall, I guess they're building a better storyline than what Raw did for Elimination Chamber, in my opinion. So I'll give them that.
Yeah. I mean, what does this say, though? We've talked about this, where Drew looks like such a second-tier champ. And tonight, the announcement in the opening segment with Roman, Heyman, and Adam Pearce that the Elimination Chamber match on the SmackDown side is going to be to earn an immediate title shot against Roman. Roman not in the Elimination Chamber match, whereas Drew is putting that title on the line in his Elimination Chamber match.
Okay, Glenn, but that's the way that it should be. Hear me out.
I know. Okay,
Roman Reigns had a last man standing match at the Royal Rumble. Drew McIntyre got 2 minutes with Goldberg. So it's only fair that Roman has an easier way out at Elimination Chamber because he's already fought all the hard battles while this one is, fighting senior citizens.
It's true. I mean, I don't know. I think the idea that one championship being the lesser, they're both the top championships on each brand. It's very interesting to me when they make it such a clear contrast between the two, where it's like, well, there's Roman and then there's Drew's, step down from Roman. I don't know. I just think it makes it seem less essential.
He fought for 2 minutes at the Rumble. He should show that he can defend his title against people his own age. So
his own age. So this was good tonight. Good opening. I like Sonya Deville in her role, although I think Sonya shouldn't. She seems like a little more like not as in control. She seems like co-brand manager. I think they should get rid of Adam entirely and just put Sonya in that spot. Yeah. Well, but the thing with Sonya's still an active wrestler. Sonya's still someone they can get over and they can build. Adam Pearce, there's no equity there. You can make him the biggest thing in wrestling, but if he can't go in a match and he's not going to wrestle, there's no point.
Right, I agree, and he's not doing a good job, obviously.
And I don't think he's a great adversary against Roman. I mean, he's not like even Kurt Angle, I think, was better in the clashes he would get into, or Mick Foley or Daniel Bryan, or even Shane McMahon against AJ. I feel like Adam is like, and this is no offense to him. I know he's talented. I know he's had, a storied career on the indies. It's great he's in the WWE, but as an on-screen character, there's nothing about him that makes me tune in and go, oh, I wonder how Adam Pearce is going to deal with this situation this week.
Because he looks like he has no authority over anybody. If you even think about it, on Monday, they brought Shane McMahon to make the announcement. And even Shane said, this was your idea, buddy, but they had to bring somebody else to announce it. It's because he doesn't have that authority, like, okay, whatever this guy says goes. And it was obviously proven tonight with Roman Reigns, the way that he was like, okay, you're going to defend the title. And Roman was like, no, I'm not. And he's like, okay, fine, I'll go make another match. Like, what was that, bro?
It's very weak. And it's crazy to me that there's not a legend, someone with more gravitas, or someone else they could put into this role.
Yeah, but I mean, for now, I just keep waiting for Roman to just kick his ass.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. Brett Murphy, $5. Roman's match should take no more than 1 minute at the Chamber. Squash Mania. Agreed. What's up, Issa?
Agree. Not more than that. It should be just a finger. Like, I hope Jey Uso wins and just lays down for Roman. Oh my God, I would love that. I
mean, especially if it's going to be Edge versus Roman at Mania. Like, this is nothing. This is a this is a rest stop we're passing on the way to our destination.
Which I love what Roman had to say about Edge being scared. I love that. The fact that he has to wait until the Elimination Chamber. I really, really liked his promo against Edge.
Yeah. No, I thought Roman tonight looked great. I thought Heyman was fantastic out there. I did enjoy the announcement of Jey Uso and Kevin Owens in the Elimination Chamber match. I like kind of the surprise there. That was a little bit of a nice twist.
I didn't, because they
really?
already had title matches and they lost. So why
Yeah,
do
I
they get
know.
another shot?
It's
Put Big
Elimination
E in there.
Chamber.
Put people that. Why is Shinsuke not in there? He won the gauntlet match until they changed the rules on him. So I didn't necessarily like that people that have lost multiple title shots get the opportunity.
That's fair. I like to see Jey wrestle. I mean, let me put it this way. I'd rather have Kevin in this match and have it be, again, the stepping stone, rather than another go round. I mean, that last man standing match, I know you love Roman. I think KO did a very good job in that match.
I agree. Yeah. I think Roman Reigns elevated him. And to be honest with you, the people that are going to be in the Elimination Chamber match, outside of Corbin, when they announced that, I booked it in my head, and it was outside of Corbin, I had put Shinsuke in there, but it was pretty much everybody that I assumed was going to be in ended up being in, except for Corbin. I
wonder if Corbin wins and then Roman just destroys him in 30 seconds, not even a minute.
Don't manifest that into the universe, Glenn.
Well, but who do you want? If it's going to be a squash, Corbin getting
squash. I want a finger poke. Yes, it will be amazing.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see if that's how they go. Good for Jey. See, but I think Jey should be getting opportunities. I don't want to see Jey versus Big E. I want to see Jey get more shots. I think Jey is elevated. So, I mean, I always thought the Usos were superstars, but I think Jey has just elevated himself so much.
Agreed. I think he looked like $1 million.
Alonzo saying Shinsuke should be in the chamber. I agree, but it doesn't matter, folks. Roman ain't losing that title, and losing to Roman in this match. We've got men's and two men's elimination chamber matches. I don't know what's up with the women yet. I'm assuming they're not getting a chamber match, but this is not going to be Roman in a 60-minute last man standing match. It's going to be a long pay-per-view just with those elimination chamber matches.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, the
women are just going to get regular matches, no? Because Asuka is fighting Lacey just on a normal match. So I wonder what they're going to do with Sasha, if they even have her in the pay-per-view. Because like you said, these elimination chamber matches could go on. And think about it. You have to have one and then a title match after. So...
And I don't know about you. To me, the Elimination Chamber match feels longer than the Royal Rumble match. And it's not as interesting. At least the Royal Rumble, something new is happening every 3 minutes.
Right. Unless you have Shayna Baszler in the Elimination Chamber.
Well, yeah. I gotta be honest, the Elimination Chamber match to me is probably the most boring of the special pay-per-view theme matches. I love Money in the Bank. Survivor Series is probably my second least favorite of the themed matches.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Remember, didn't Elimination Chamber go away for a little while? There was a couple of years we didn't even have it.
Yeah, Hell in a Cell is always good because it's the big match. We get it. But I think Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank are my two favorite of the theme match pay-per-views. So we'll see. So tonight we went right into an Elimination Chamber qualifier after that opening promo. And that was Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio versus Sami Zayn and King Baron Corbin, with Dominic Mysterio getting the pin. What do you think, given he had such a hot start to his career in WWE? He was on SummerSlam, all these things happening. They're booking him to lose pretty consistently, if it feels like, as of late.
Yeah, they need to just, in my opinion, separate him from Rey Mysterio. I think the whole Mysterio family dynamic kind of got old, and that is not really helping him. Which should be what elevates him. It's actually, in my opinion, was not helping him at all. I thought they would win just so that I could see them go at it.
No, they would. I want that
turn so bad.
Well, I'll tell you, having them go against Sami and Corbin, I think it makes all the sense in the world to have Sami in the match. Corbin, I think it makes sense to have him in the match if we need someone that could win and then lose to Roman quickly, if not what you said in the setup. But I don't know. I mean, I think Sami Zayn is so on fire lately where he's at and what he's doing. And with Corbin, they just need something new for him. Like the Constable thing was good. The King thing was good. You just got to keep changing it. This Knights of the Lone Wolf thing was dead on arrival. Like he needs another new wrinkle. He's a very good heel. He's being hurt by not having the live audience because I think that he played so well off a crowd, whereas Bayley has been a great heel without a crowd. I think Corbin is better with one. They just need to find something to reinvent this.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's character just have not evolved, and they have to change every once in a while. The King thing worked on the beginning. Today, when they made everybody come out for Seth Rollins, he looked so stupid standing out there with that crowd on his, the crowd on his head. I'm like, they need to give him a significant feud again.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually, it's funny you mentioned that, because now that I think about Seth and this angle with him tonight and Baron's angle, I almost think felt a little too similar. Almost this idea, like, I'm going to be the leader, I'm going to be the guy, follow. Like, I don't know. With Corbin, Corbin might be better on Raw. Maybe get some separation with Seth. I do not think this was the triumphant return tonight. A lot of people were looking for, and we'll talk about that. But we did get an Intercontinental title match: Shinsuke Nakamura versus Big E. And I think the real story was the promo before this with Apollo Crews, who wanted another shot at that Intercontinental Championship. And they were supposed to be doing this off mic thing, Big E telling him to go back to catering. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like heel Apollo is moments away from being solidified here. I mean, tonight perhaps did solidify with his interference in the match and causing the DQ.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They're trying to tell a story here, but it's just taking too long to get where they want to get with Apollo, right? Because he feels, if he's been feuding with Big E forever, I guess they're slow. It's a slow burn here.
Yeah.
I just, again, I told you I was a little upset with the whole Shinsuke thing, because I just thought they let that momentum from that gauntlet match just completely go away, and they could have just done something with him, and it was just there. And the match wasn't even, I guess, because of Apollo Crews, it didn't even end up being what I thought it would be, because I saw Big E versus Shinsuke. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good, but it ended up in a DQ.
Yeah, and Shinsuke is just great. I think him getting opportunities always makes sense, right? And I think unlike some of these other talents, Shinsuke hasn't been tarnished with so many losses yet. Like, you always think Shinsuke could pull off a win.
Right.
It's always that possibility. So I don't know. So with Apollo, look up heel Apollo really intrigues me. I'm fully on board with that.
Yeah, I want to see where they go.
And it's interesting. They're so reluctant on heel turns, and I get with Apollo, right? He's got a fantastic smile, winning personality, like ultimate natural baby face. But I mean, look what happened with Sami Zayn. Look what happened with Roman. I think heel turns, they're on a roll with doing some very, very good heel turns. Liked what we saw of this tonight with Big E and Shinsuke. But yeah, I think Apollo interfering absolutely makes sense. Jody Sean Jenkins, $2 Canadian, saying I liked Rollins' gimmick better when CM Punk did it. Yes.
I mean,
yes. And Wolfbane, $5, saying, what up, Issa? Do you collect replica belts? I agree, Corbin does look stupid with that crown.
No, I do not collect replica belts.
That's an interesting way to chat up a female wrestling fan. Hey, girl, you collect replica belts?
I guess, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hey, shoot your shot, guys. So I thought this was good. Sasha getting into it with Reginald, the sommelier, a little bit before this match. Sasha Banks hanging out with Callisto backstage. He's still on the roster.
Yeah, they're buddies.
Yeah.
That's the only TV time he gets, is just hanging out with Sasha Banks.
You know what? Good for Callisto. Ride that. Ride those coattails all the way to the mid card. But no, I think Sasha's top card, but Callisto, I think there's a ceiling there. I don't know. Do you think Reginald might be turning on Carmella and switching?
I called it last week. I think he's gonna pair up with Sasha Banks. I think that's what he's trying to go for.
Yeah.
I don't think that Sasha Banks needs him though.
No, it actually feels like it seems like it's a lesser gimmick for Sasha.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lesser gimmick because it's a second-hand gimmick from Carmella. If Sasha had launched with it, remember like when she came out at NXT TakeOver against Bayley and she was in like the Hummer, the SUV she was in. Yeah. She had the guys like her entourage. That was cool. The fact though that Carmella's done this, Carmella not setting the world on fire with Untouchable since her return in the sommelier. It feels weird at this point to be like, you know what, we're gonna jump this over to Sasha.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, I guess they're trying to tell a story here. I think that Carmella has improved, and I do like Untouchable. It's just that you put her on a title feud right away, and she looked great in the ring against Sasha Banks. But then again, Sasha Banks is that kind of opponent that makes anybody look good, you know?
Yeah.
But I thought that Sasha elevated Carmella. I just don't know where we're going here. And there's a little bit of a filler between now and WrestleMania, especially with the Rumble winners not picking who they're facing. Then you cannot start these feuds. And
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's creating a weird dynamic with, at least in the women's division, where they're just on a weird hold or picking a filler feud in between.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. And we talked about this a few months ago with Carmella. They gave her the nickname Untouchable when she came back, and she was losing. Like, they could have done this so well if she would have come back, dominated and squashed people. Nobody got any offense in her, gave her the Untouchable nickname in an organic way, and then it would be a huge deal when somebody finally beat her, right? They could have built this really organically in a really meaningful way, and they put the cart ahead of the horse, and it just seems like a joke. It's like, why doesn't everyone just start calling themselves the champion if there's no basis for reality, you know?
Right. That's what I thought too. I thought they should have put her in a couple of feuds and let her really build this new character up, but putting her right on top in a title feud against Sasha Banks, while she looked good in the ring, it just didn't help this new character.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Hey, let's take a moment and thank the sponsor of this episode, which is Stereo, and specifically the after show, as it were, that Matt Morgan and I have been doing every Monday night on Stereo, right after the Raw coverage ends on this podcast. If you've ever wanted to probe the depths of Matt Morgan's history and rich backstory, and a bit of mine as well, you need to be tuning into the after show. You need to get that Stereo app and follow us on there. I'm Glenn Rubenstein on Stereo. He's Matt Morgan on Stereo. Download the app. You'll get notified when we go live. We've been doing it every Monday night. We'll be doing some other stuff on there. Issa, you went live and did Conversation on Stereo. Was it yesterday or was that today?
It was yesterday. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoy Stereo.
Yeah, it's a fantastic app, and what we love about it is you get to interact with us. So if you want to send us a question, we play them during the show. We answer them. You steer the conversation. We do it after we're done talking about wrestling. So yeah, we'll get some wrestling talk in there, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But if you did not listen to Monday night's after show, Matt Morgan dropped the bombshell to end all bombshells about his past on Monday night's after show. So you need to go to stereo.com/Glenn Rubenstein, stereo.com/Matt Morgan. Follow us. Look for a link to the last after show. Give that a listen. And Matt Morgan just blew us all away with what he revealed on there. And again, when you follow us on Stereo, you'll get notified whenever we go live. Now, Stereo is the live social conversation app where you can actually host your own chats, be a part of someone else's conversation, or simply just listen. They have thousands of live social conversations with a wide range of genres for every interest. And of course, there's wrestling, there's news, comedy, sports, and more. And you could choose, to participate or just sit back and listen. And this allows us to have a closer relationship with you. We can have direct conversations. You record your chats, you send them to us directly. And when you join us on Stereo, you get uncensored opinions and exclusive content. We're doing this every Monday night after Raw. We're going to be doing some other surprise ones. So be sure to go to stereo.com/Matt Morgan, stereo.com/Glenn Rubenstein, and stereo.com/NYC Demon Diva to get notified when Issa goes live on the platform. And much more to come. It has been great. Listen to the after show from Monday. It's just mind-blowing. I've been podcasting with Matt for 5 years. Never even had a hint of the story that he dropped Monday night. And it was so, so good. And we thank Stereo for sponsoring the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Let's talk about Seth Rollins tonight. Coming out to his old music. Burn It Down.
That was great. I love that. I popped for that.
And it seemed like it was going to be he had the entire locker room out there. Seemed like it was going to be a bit of a babyface turn, talking about being a father and how it's changed him.
You really thought it was gonna be a baby face thing?
Well, I don't know. I
mean,
mean,
came out in all leather. That's a sign.
That's true. Looking like Eddie Murphy in Raw. Like all leather is that's a bold look. I couldn't pull that off.
Look at my outfit.
So, yeah, you can pull it off. We did
not coordinate. Me and Seth did not coordinate.
You can pull it off. Seth can pull it off. You don't see guys you don't see Otis coming out in all leather.
I don't want to.
Yeah, that would. Could you imagine? Do you have to like talc up when you do that? Like, does the sweat? Is it weird? How do you clean that? I have so many questions about leather outfits.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you can't wash it, you can't dry clean it. Like, you just sort of hang it out to dry, spray some Lysol on it, and hope the funk sort of.
I guess. I don't know.
Okay, these are important questions, Issa, that people want to
It is
know.
important questions. I don't really sweat in my leather outfits, so I
Okay,
mean,
but if you're a guy, if
I
you're
don't
Seth
know what guys
Rollins,
do. I'm sure Seth Rollins' sweat is like holy water, so he's fine.
he's a moist-looking man. He looks like he sweats a lot.
Right.
But
No, that's
anyhow,
just the water from his wet hair.
oh, okay. Well, there you go. It's Friday night, folks. It's been a
Yep.
long week. So Rollins did not name Becky Lynch. They're married now, right? They got married.
I don't know if they got married like.
I don't want to misassign. Yeah, I don't want to misassign their relationship, but he did not mention her, of course, the mother of his child. But what he pivoted to, so not the Messiah, but the leader, and he wants everyone to follow him. It just seemed
embrace the vision. That's the
mission. That seemed like a weird backtrack to a gimmick that has never gotten over.
I didn't mind the Messiah. I just think they wasted the Messiah in that Rey Mysterio feud. It lasted too long, right? I just feel like that's not the gimmick for SmackDown when you have Roman Reigns putting food on everybody's table. SmackDown has a clear leader.
Yeah.
And everybody knows who it is. So I wasn't expecting him to come back as a face because they never do that with Seth. Remember, even when he came back from injury, they made him come back as a heel. I didn't expect him to. I knew he was gonna troll us, but I didn't know that it was gonna be the whole leader thing. I thought he was gonna come back with something else, or I'm better than. I don't know. I thought he was gonna be in the Elimination Chamber match. I thought so many things, but what ended up happening?
There's too many heels on SmackDown, and the entire locker room walking away from him. I think it just makes him look like a joke.
Right. Which I don't even know why they were out there to begin with.
Yeah, it's very odd. It's very, very
I
odd.
embrace the vision. I'm looking at the chat. I love Seth Rollins. He is one of my favorites. But this was a little bit confusing, and he attacked Cesaro, but then it doesn't look like it's going to be a feud right now. So it was just
and the whole Cesaro was in a match later.
Odd. Yeah. It feels like a wasted return. It feels like you could have done some kind of secret attack where Seth came out and like started a feud in a different way, but announcing it for this, it was underwhelming.
So maybe, I was going to say maybe we'll get next week where he's like, fine, you don't want to follow me, whatever, doing my own thing. I didn't invite you to my party anyhow. It's cool.
I mean, I hope that they go somewhere else with it. I was disappointed, especially because he's one of my favorites. And I did feel like his presence has been missed. And there's so many people that need feuds to solidify them that you could like Seth Rollins as a main eventer. You can put him with Big E. You can put him with Roman like that. I cannot wait for those two to clash. But this just felt like I said, like a waste of a return.
I agree. David Hall pointing out that Seth Rollins' sweat can heal the sick.
Agreed.
DNA of TNA Morgan fan $5 saying you should see the Twitter responses to Naomi making fun of Nia Jax and her meme moment for Monday night with the remix. I did listen to Naomi in the remix of Nia's quip. It was cute. It's funny. It's good.
That go apparently.
I mean, you got to know if you say something like that. Wrestling fans are like, I don't think Vince. Could you imagine Vince backstage and he's like, here's what you're going to do. You're going to do the leg drop. And then Vince is like, oh, no, I doubt that happened. I don't know.
I heard that Vince has a weird sense of humor. So he probably found that hilarious.
Vince probably loves that and will give her a title shot opportunity as a result of this getting over. So Bayley versus Liv Morgan tonight. This was a really good match.
Of course it was. I'm always happy to see Bayley on my TV. I think she's one of my favorites. And like you were saying earlier, somebody that has evolved so much with the no crowd era. I love her.
She's fantastic. And Liv looked great tonight as well. Billie Kay was out there causing a distraction.
Yeah.
Trying to talk to Ruby Riott, allowed Bayley to get the win. I want them to really do something with Liv Morgan.
Me too. Me too. After watching her documentary on the network, you just like really get to know her a little bit better, and she's talented and she has the look. I really wish there was just a little bit more, and I think they could head in that direction. SmackDown has proven that you can have multiple women feud and be invested in all of them. So let's see, maybe Liv and Bailey go, have some kind of feud. It helped Bianca Belair.
Yeah. No, I think absolutely. Xavier Leon, $5, saying, what if Seth goes on a campaign and anyone he beats has to join him? Then after some time, Roman and his table versus Seth and his followers. I mean, maybe. That's like, wasn't there an RPG like that? There was some video game where it was like everyone you beat sort of became your ally after. I don't know. With Seth, I don't want followers. I just want Seth Rollins to do something completely new and different. Put him as a babyface against Roman. Given their history, it'd be great. They could really tell a story.
I think with a different gimmick too, heel versus heel could be so good. I know they don't do that, but I think it could be so good.
Let's talk about the Street Profits versus Otis and Chad Gable tonight. Street Profits getting that win.
Again, I have an issue with this feuds continuing for too long, and this is in both shows. This is not just SmackDown or Raw. I guess they're going to go for the titles again, and it's just like they just fought the Dirty Dogs for how many matches? You know what I mean? But again, they don't have a tag team division, so who else is gonna get that shot?
Yeah. They got to do something with this. And why did they break up Heavy Machinery? I mean, this is good for Chad Gable. It's better than the Shorty G thing, but I don't think he's getting over as Otis's hype man.
No, no. I mean, I don't understand all these tag teams that they broke up. The same with the Iconics. You break up these tag teams to then these people trying to find a different partner. Then why break them up to begin with?
I know. Jason McKay, $10, saying Billy blew the perfect opportunity for her resume handoff after Seth's speech. Imagine the vision Seth would have had after reading all of her accomplishments. Billy Kay and Seth would actually be golden. That would be fantastic. If she was like, I'm going to be like the right-hand woman of the leader, that I'm on board with. 100%.
She would annoy him so fast.
No, see, because I think Seth does being a smug prick so well with the laugh and everything. I think they could play off of each other. And I think with Seth, it would make him more comedic, but I think it would be, I don't know that it probably would get him more over. And I think it would be great TV to have him be this weird Michael Scott-like boss with Billy Kay as his right hand. I think there's a lot of potential.
I agree. I will say that when he finished his promo and they zoomed in his face and he smiled, I was waiting for the laugh, that famous Seth Rollins laugh, and he didn't do it, and I was so disappointed.
Alonzo Smith saying he wants a copy of Billy Kay's headshot and resume. I'm surprised WWE Shop isn't selling those.
Really, they should just make it a downloadable PDF somewhere.
Why they never did that with the Miz Participation Award? That gimmick he had for 3 weeks. I made one. I recreated one, finding the assets online to give one to my wife because she thought it was so funny. The framed award that said, "Hey, you tried." They don't get on that as much as they should, but I agree a PDF would be fantastic. But I think a lot of people
did do the creation of Kevin. Remember the painting that?
Oh yeah.
Okay, Kevin Owens. That was classic.
Jericho. No, absolutely. The Rusev Day calendar. I own one of those. Yeah. So Sasha Banks's promo tonight.
Not my favorite. And I love Sasha Banks. I think Sasha Banks is great, but this segment was not my favorite. Like I said, it just feels it's a weird filler thing. Like, oh, she might face me, she might not. I really, really want the decisions to be made.
Yeah, and then having Nia and Shayna in the mix tonight.
Yeah, which when they came out, I was like, why? And then I remembered that they were tag champions. They are allowed to be there, but it took me a second to connect the dots. You know what I mean? And I don't know that. Again, they're probably going to have a match at Elimination Chamber but I just don't understand why they can't just build a 2-month feud that when you get to Mania, you really cannot wait to see them go at it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Lonzo Smith saying, "Get well soon, Matt Morgan." Where's Raj? Probably on a Valentine's Zoom date with Ryback. They're just good friends. Elimination Chamber qualifier: Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler versus Daniel Bryan and Cesaro.
That's a good match.
Well, yeah, but putting that stipulation in there of, the winners are going to go on to Elimination Chamber, like, you knew it wasn't going to be Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler.
Actually, I wouldn't put it past them. Yeah.
I would have bet $500, which I think is a considerable sum of money. I would have bet that's about my dollar limit confidence on who was winning this match tonight.
Right. And I get it, but remember, if you think about what you said earlier, you need somebody that can take a loss to Roman Reigns quick. If it's going to be a squash match, why not a Dolph Ziggler or a Bobby Roode?
Yeah. This match was good. Daniel Bryan and Cesaro deserve the win. They'll be great in the Elimination Chamber. The Elimination Chamber match is going to be great, but yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I don't see, maybe it'll happen, but I don't see Cesaro. Actually, Cesaro, now that I think about it,
they're building him up. He's been getting a lot of wins.
Cesaro is the best candidate if you want a lengthy match
with Roman.
Cesaro is the best because we know he's not going to win. Cesaro's not tarnished by losing. It could actually elevate him a little bit. Cesaro is a good pick if it's going to be a long championship match.
Yeah, I agree. And Cesaro and Roman have had some really good matches in the past. I remember when they had that tournament for the WWE Championship when Seth got injured. Remember, Cesaro was one of the people that Roman had to beat, and I loved that match. And then freaking Sheamus came out and cashed out. I will never forget that night. But I would like to see it. I think something is going on with Cesaro if you really think about it, because he has won the last few weeks on TV. So, this could be it. They could be building him for that. Nobody's taking the title off of Roman, but it doesn't mean that we can't get good matches out of it. Look at the matches with Kevin Owens. So whoever wins the Elimination Chamber can be someone that gives us a good match. Like you said, either a squash match or it needs to be a really good match, like no in between.
And then, of course, Corbin and Sammy came out to get in and cause some drama.
And Cesaro was busted open in the head again.
Yeah, that's his thing.
For the third week in a row, poor guy.
I know. And then Kevin Owens came out and wrecked shop a bit, and then stared into the camera and called out Roman Reigns to go off the air. So it was a good ending. But KO needs to move on. KO needs to beat somebody else up, decide he's going to go after someone else. Like,
but who do you go after?
That's the problem. It's all Big E, right?
Yeah, Big E.
It's all Big E. Big E fights everyone. That's.
They need to build storylines that are not around the championship, right? Like secondary storylines that we can get invested into, and maybe that's what's lacking there, because I think SmackDown is a good show, but when you think about single feuds that are not for a title, there's none there. Kevin Owens, that's just his new gimmick. He won't die. Remember, Roman called him a cockroach. I think he's more like a cat. 9 lives. I think he's down to his last 2, maybe.
I mean, it'll be interesting, but you're right, though. They need more non-title stories, because right now, all about tag teams, all about the IC title, and all about the Universal Championship. And I know it's a 2-hour show, and the Women's Championship as well, but it feels like I feel like a lot of weeks, not that when they're phoning it in, but when we get a show that's like basically a 4-segment show, a 4-match show, and each match is like 20 to 30 minutes with commercials. I just feel like that's when they're phoning it in. I would rather have 8 segments with shorter matches.
Right. I agree. It felt very, I don't know, like I'm with you on that. I was like, why did this show go by so fast? And it felt like nothing really happened, but it did, because we built something for the Elimination Chamber. I cannot wait to see the interaction between Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens, because they can cut promos on each other. That I look forward to. But now Roman Reigns have to worry about all of these guys. We'll see where it goes, but it did feel very filler-like. Yeah. For the second week in a row, because last week felt that way as well.
Yeah. And it's weird that Elimination Chamber is coming up a week from Sunday. I feel that this is so last minute. This is so thrown together.
When is Fastlane?
I want to say it's I know
Somewhere
it's
in the middle of March, right?
Yeah, let's see. WWE pay-per-view Fastlane, Sunday, March 21st.
And then what? And when is Mania?
Mania's later this year. Mania's the 10th and 11th of April.
So like 2 weeks after Fastlane.
Yeah.
That's I think they need to drop these pay-per-views in between Rumble and Mania, and that will make it a lot easier to really build significant feuds towards Mania, because I cannot tell you who's fighting who at WrestleMania right now.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think they even have a final yet. Brett Murphy, $2 saying, "Where the hell is Rhea Ripley?"
They don't
She
have
posted
anything for
those.
her.
They posted the photos of her new look. Keeps going higher and higher in the stratosphere, in my opinion. Like there is no limit on her superstardom if they book her correctly.
I think whoever Bianca doesn't pick should be the person that really fights at WrestleMania.
I think she should show. I'm sorry.
No, I think she should show up after Elimination Chamber and challenge. Go to whatever brand Bianca doesn't choose.
I mean, she should challenge Asuka.
Right. I think that Bianca's choosing Sasha. I think that Ripley against Asuka is money.
Yeah.
I would love to see it. I would love to see Bianca. I would love to see Ripley with that title. Imagine if we have Rhea Ripley, the Raw Women's Champion, and Bianca Belair, SmackDown Women's Champion after Mania. Oh my God. That would be
what they need. They need to pass the torch to this next generation of talent. I don't think Lacey is beating Asuka. Maybe she does.
Really? You know, this whole thing is to set up a storyline for Charlotte at Mania. They're putting the belt on Lacey. I'm sorry.
You think so? See, I think Charlotte interferes, costs Lacey the title, and then we get Charlotte and Lacey as Ric Flair. You don't need a title when you got Ric Flair.
It's Charlotte Flair, Glenn. She needs a title storyline for WrestleMania.
Okay. But that's
it's not what I want to happen, right? I'm just going based on listen, I have this theory where I just expect the worst, and that way I'm never disappointed.
Oh, there you go.
So I think they do that because they're gonna want Charlotte on a title match, which means then Rhea doesn't come up, which is not fair.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they do then with Rhea. Rhea needs to be in the title picture. Now, Rhea versus Asuka is an exhibition of like who's the best woman in all of WWE. That's good, but let's give it some real.
They could turn one of the title matches into triple threats as well.
I hate when they do that, though.
I know, but not all the title matches are going to be single matches. You know, that really never works out that way.
Monopoly Man, $5, saying Tamina is very underused. She's a badass. She's always someone's bodyguard, it seems like.
Yeah.
You know, I was really happy, what was it, last fall when they gave her the opportunity against Bayley. She was doing some promos.
Doing her own thing on Twitter. I love Tamina. I wish she would just join Roman Reigns at some point in this whole bloodline family thing. Maybe come out with them. I don't know. I do agree. She's underused and she deserves so much more.
Yeah, I feel like she never really got a fair shake. Or she hasn't thus far.
I know. I agree. And she looks the part. She looks very badass. And I would love to see her again in a significant feud. And she's somebody that you can put in a women's title feud and looks like a believable contender against whoever the champion is.
Yeah. Razor Gem 555-666 saying Rhea looks like she's going to join Ruby's team because of her new look. I hope not.
No. Rhea's a star and they know it. She has that it factor. They just like, don't bring her up if you have nothing for her. You know what I mean? Like, don't bring her and have her cut a promo about how she's the leader now. Like, don't do that. If you don't have anything for her, I'd rather them wait until they can really put her in a story that's going to elevate her.
Yeah. Rhea, Bianca, it's interesting. They have something that I think a lot of the men don't even have on the men's side of the roster, and a lot of the other women don't have, where they seem like they could be superstars in any other form of entertainment. You could plug them into any other sport. They've just got this universal appeal. There's something about them that is very rare. And I'm trying to think of the last even male talent that I really... Street Profits are probably up there on that. I think Ricochet... if he doesn't talk, has that.
Right, right. I think that Bianca Belair has like a you have to root for her factor, and that's like very hard to find nowadays in wrestling, especially with with the way that wrestling fans, the way that we are, we're very particular with who we choose to get behind. And I think that Bianca has that, and I just think that Rhea Ripley just has, like I said, I call it the it, and
Yeah.
not quoting Jericho, but I remember when she came out at that Rumble, and I didn't watch the Mae Young Classic. I wasn't watching NXT UK, but as soon as she came out, I was like, "Who is that?" And
Yeah.
I was hooked. I had to follow everything that she did from there, and that it takes a lot to get somebody to stop and go, "Oh my God, who is she? I need to know everything about her."
And Sasha as well.
Yeah, Sasha as well. But talking about like newer people that could come in and make a difference, a difference in the roster.
Yeah, and it's like, not to diss the men's roster too much, but I just don't see a lot of them and think, oh, hey, this is someone that could headline an action movie.
But that's a lot to do with how they're being booked too, because listen, like I was so excited for Seth's return tonight, and then I was like, and I feel like Seth is somebody that you can insert in any feud, and I didn't like what they did with him. So I think that I don't know why they're struggling to write for the males so much. Like you have the most talented, stacked roster you've had as far as talent, in-ring talent goes. Help them out.
Yeah, probably New Day, now that I'm thinking about it. Like New Day is very universal. Like they can do a lot. But I think that's the thing they need, and they don't capitalize on that. It's like up, down, down is like one of the few examples where they say like, okay, here's more that we can do with it. It's like Becky. I mean, I love Becky. I think Becky's great. Becky was great in the Marine movie that she was in, but Becky, like, she's a wrestler. She's a wrestler. She's top WWE talent. I think that's going to be a lot of the roles that she gets, where Sasha's we're already seeing. Like Sasha's casting and doing more versatile stuff. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love to see Becky get more chances to do that. But yeah, it's interesting. It's just interesting to think about that in the grander scheme of things. That being said, The Miz did hold down like 4 Marine movies.
Yeah.
And he was clearly the superstar of the Real World season he was on.
Hey, I loved the Real World back then.
I loved it back then. I loved that season, and I liked him as a character. But part of the reason why I liked The Miz so much when he got into wrestling is we liked that character because that character was such a dork and like so sort of just ignorant and sheltered when he came to the Real World. I love how Coral like schooled his ass on so many things. Like you feel like you watched him grow up. And at first I liked him because it was like, okay, this kid's getting a shot. So it's funny to see where he is now.
Right. It's amazing, especially if you watched him back then. I watched that season live when it was airing, and you see him now and you go, no way that this guy is. I need to do a rewatch of that season of the Real World just for laugh.
We tried to, and it was a little slow, but you look back at like the very first season of the Real World and you look like Eric Nyes and you're like, that guy's a star. That guy's going to be huge. Give him the grind and whatever else he wants to do, because sky's the limit on that kid. But yeah, the Miz did not scream that on the Real World.
But you have to give him props for following his dream. That was his dream, and he did it, and he mastered it, and I love the Miz, and that's somebody else that I wish they did more with him. I think same with Morrison. I feel like they wasted Morrison coming back. You know what I mean? Like they put them together, and now it's just like, why? Like they're doing nothing with them. I go back to that talking smack moment with Daniel Bryan and the Miz. That Miz money, and where is he?
Yeah. They almost seem to want him more at this like mid-card level to be like the mid-card comic relief. Him and Morrison, coming out there and just sort of poorly dressed, doing their shtick. They seem to want that,
If they're having fun, good for them.
Yeah, and I have to admit, as a fan, I like that. I like when I can see a talent's really enjoying themselves.
Right.
Seth, as the Messiah, did not seem like he was having a good time.
I don't think he was meant to look like he was having a good time. He was the Messiah. He had a lot on his shoulders.
It's true. It's very tough. We don't talk about that enough.
Rey Mysterio and the entire family and the eye injury,
That was only a few months ago. Like that, like I blocked from my memory the stuff about his daughter and Murphy and all of that. It was
Extreme Rules, right? When he poked Rey's eye out with that amazing special effects that they used for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in trouble if I keep talking.
I don't want them in the same show because I'm afraid they'll go back to feuding with each other. You know what I mean?
Monopoly Man, $5 saying we're gonna have a pre-show before WrestleMania. I don't think so. I mean, we're gonna podcast both nights for Mania. But I don't know. And it's Sunday, by the way. Me, Matt Morgan, a third question mark, are covering NXT. I'll be here. I know that. I'll be here Sunday for NXT TakeOver, which will be good. And then Monday, of course, doing this podcast. Then the after show. Speaking of which, I should probably take it on home, Issa, because it's Friday night. Look at you. You're all dressed up.
We
You
all
got
know
places
it's
to go,
so
things to do.
early where you're at, and it's so late here. Go ahead.
You're in NYC. Night's just getting started. You're dressed to kill. You're ready to go out.
No, going to bed with my dog and watching Netflix.
See, you Netflix and chill solo in a much more fashionable way. I dressed up for this podcast. I took off my like camouflage hoodie because I was like, man, maybe that's not like the best look for doing the show. But you just dressed to the nines, looking like $1 million tax free. Yeah, me, I'm gonna, but below all this, it's like sweatpants, and it's just, I'm gonna sit and watch WandaVision with the wife, and maybe play some Fortnite. It's gonna be a big night in my house.
Wow.
Yeah, you play Fortnite,
Sounds like you have amazing plans. I haven't played it in like forever. I need to get back into it. My nephews have been begging me to get back into it because we used to play together.
They have released so many skins for that game. It's
Too many.
Insane. Like I'm playing under people like Wolverine and the Predator and like.
Oh, I had the Black Widow one. That's
yeah, I've got Black Widow. That was the last time that I played, but I just got, so they had Tron skins that came out today, and I'm like, okay, I need to get a Tron skin because that's kind of cool with the identity disc, but you can't throw it, which is a whole other story. But the thing I can't figure out about Fortnite is that I've been winning lately, and I'm trying to decide if I gotten better, or are they putting me on servers?
Good people are not playing it anymore.
Or are they putting me on servers with people that suck as much as I do?
You're probably playing against a bunch of bots.
Yeah, because I'm getting like 5 to 8 kills a game, and I've gotten like 2 victories this week, which is for me. Normally, I'm lucky to get 1 a season. And normally my strategy is much like how Lana won that match Monday. I just sort of hide out and then wait for my moment. And then I win.
That's amazing. I just dance. And then my just cover me.
No, I've even been doing the thing where I drop in the middle. I drop into where the action is, scramble to find a weapon, and then, you're lucky to make it out of there. But if you make it out of there, you get like 4 kills right away. I used to go to a far corner of the map, gear up, hide out for a while, and then bide my time.
Then you get into it, right?
Yeah. So I've gotten much better. I think I've gotten better, but I'll get bored.
Better. Good for you. I maybe I'll play Call of Duty tonight.
Oh, see, that's too hardcore for me. And I loved the first World War II Call of Duty. Like, that was awesome. But now people are way too good at that shit. Like, I'm not.
Really good. Like, I watch my nephews and I think I'm doing really good. And then he's like, my nephew the other day got like 100 kills in one round. And I'm like, I thought I was good with my 40-something kills. Yeah, no.
I was playing that music game Fuser by Harmonix, doing the mashups from all the different songs, and there's a Bad Bunny song on there. There's many different artists. I have like
Bunny's son. Can I put you on the spot? Do you know which song it is?
Oh, you've heard me try and tell you about Menudo songs. I'm just gonna butcher the name. Let's see what Bad Bunny Fuser song. Let's see what it is. Yo Perreo Sola.
Yo Perreo Sola. Okay.
Yes,
that's a good one.
Yeah. It's a fun game. I love the hell out of it. Love the single player where it gives you challenges. It tells you like mix this genre with this genre. But the multiplayer, like not a lot of people are playing this game. So I have this great library. It's great. I can just go for hours making different mixes and doing different things. But there's supposed to be these battles, but no one's ever online to battle. So I'm just bored with it already. But yeah, it's fun. I like doing mashups. I like doing remixes and that stuff. So it's great to have a game to do that. Because otherwise I would sit here in my office at night and I would just be like, does this go with this? Does this go with this? And just the stupidest things. Because it's 2021. Who gives a shit about mashups anymore? We can all make them. There's software that makes them. It's easy.
Facts.
Yeah. But hey, remember, Stereo Monday night. Do not forget to join us for our exclusive content, the after show as it were, and the opportunity to join the conversation live. What are we going to talk about Monday? Tune in and find out. There will probably be fallout and more questions about what Matt revealed on Monday, because it's just everybody's talking about it. Everyone's buzzing about it. I made an awkward joke about it at the end unintentionally. Used the wrong turn of phrase. It was weird. Thankfully, Matt laughed. But the after party, as it were, is over on Stereo, where we go live every Monday night. We want to hear from you. Of course, Stereo is the app for live social conversation. We want to talk directly with you, our listeners. Join our show. Ask questions about anything. Share your experiences and opinions. We want to hear everything. So download now. Join us live this Monday. We're going to have links in the show description. And when you go there, stereo.com/Glenn Rubenstein, stereo.com/Matt Morgan, and stereo.com/NYC Demon Diva to get notified when Issa is going to be going live on Stereo. Love working with them. It's been a fantastic partnership. We thank them for sponsoring the Wrestling podcast. It's a great platform. Everybody loves it. So, hey, everybody, have a great weekend. We'll see you Sunday night to talk about TakeOver. Until then, I'm Glenn Rubenstein on behalf of myself and NYC Demon Diva. Have a great weekend.